It is January 20th, 2019. We're at Packard Oaks Farm, and Dad is going to talk about Explorer Trip.
This is a lot of years ago from Boise, Idaho. We were involved quite heavy in scouting, and Barcel Weaver and I, we were neighbors there, and so we got the boys together and signed them up for a big scouting trip. This was for boys 14 and above, and I can't remember, Todd, if you went or not. I think you were too young, but Chad went and his friends, and they're in the ward. And we got little jackets here with Idaho on the back and our names and the post that we were in. This is Post 25, Ore-Ida Council. This one happens to be mine, Bob Packard. And each of us got one of these jackets to wear so that we were all alike. So we could easily be found. And we went to Colorado. There was, golly, I can't remember all the reasons.
Colorado Springs, it was the Olympic.
Yeah, the Olympics, that was it, yeah. Anyway, we had a great experience, and we went by a bus, and we had a great experience. This one here is, I bought this in Israel, in Jerusalem. These are, you have to have it explained what worry beads are. They wore worry beads around the neck, and this is just a conversation piece for people who have big worries. And that's what that is. We've made 3 trips to Israel, Jerusalem, Mom and I, and they have been great trips, really great trips. I need to mention one of them was with Bernie and his first wife, Sarah. She developed Lou Gehrig's disease, and they and us have been very, very close over the years. And as soon as she was diagnosed, we drove down there. It's a 5-hour drive to get down to Beaumont, and we talked to this lady that lived across the street who was a nurse, and that was her main job at the hospital, is to take care of people who had Lou Gehrig's disease before they died. And she came over and we talked, and she says, "Hey, Sarah, whatever you want to do, you need to do it now, because you're not going to be able to do it." And she says, "I always wanted to go to Israel." And so we called Barbara, my sister Barbara, and Jay Kunstler, and it was all arranged. The 6 of us were going to Israel because that was her life wish. And it was interesting because Jay Kunstler had a very massive hemorrhage of the brain that almost lost his life and left him very paralyzed just a day or 2 before we were supposed to go. And so Bernie and I decided we were going to go ahead because Barbara put a lot of pressure on us to just go. And we called every day back to BYU to find out, because he was a professor there in Provo, and he made it through. But anyway, we had a great trip. She actually, within just 1 month, we went on Thanksgiving. In 1 month, she ended up in Israel in a wheelchair. I remember great times. We went out and stayed on this kibbutz this one time because we were on our own. We didn't join a tour group. And one time in the wheelchair, Bernie wheeled her right into the Sea of Galilee, just whooshed her right into the Sea of Galilee, and it was a great experience. We went across the Sea of Galilee, and when we went to the Masada, there's golly, what is it, 200 steps to get from where the
Romans, the ramp?
What do you call the
ramp?
Well, to the gondolas.
Oh.
We went up on gondolas to the top where this, and Tammy is so afraid of gondolas and heights and stuff, she didn't want to go on up these stairs. And 2 military boys grabbed Sarah's wheelchair, one on each side, and walked her all the way up on top of Masada. And we wheeled her around everything there and saw Masada and the top there of what it was like. And great experience with Israel.